Not really any. They had a good game plan. They kind of took away our deep stuff. They took away the sidelines, and they did a good job of rallying to the football and making tackles. We weren't executing early. I had a few miscues. We weren't on the same page. But I mean, credit to them, man. They played a heck of a game defensively and offensively and beat us.
Okay, and was the toe a problem for you tonight? And are you going to be having surgery anytime soon on that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say the toe was a problem when I played last week or 2 weeks ago, and I played well on it. I mean, it's something you battle through. You're playing football, you have to battle through injuries, and so we'll look at it tomorrow, and we'll make a final decision on if we're going to have surgery on it or not.
All right, next we'll go to Vahe Gregorian. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Patrick. As close as you are to Andy, I just wonder how cognizant of all the other things going on the last couple of days you were, and what feelings you might have had about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tragic situation all around. I mean, you're praying for everyone that was involved, but we went into the game, and I felt like he was still Coach Reed, still the same guy, but obviously we wanted to win the game, but we didn't. So now it's about continuing to move forward and try to do whatever we can to keep moving forward.
All right, let's go to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Patrick, there was so much discussion about the offensive line today and how it was going to go against the Buccaneers pass rush. Just what did you see was the big issue in that regard, and just how did you try to counteract what they were doing in terms of the pass rush around the second quarter or so?
Yeah, I just think we weren't on the same page as an offense in general. I wasn't getting the ball out on time. The receivers were running routes not to exactly where I thought they were going to be at. And the offensive line, they did good. They were good at sometimes, and sometimes they let guys through. And when you're playing a good defense like that, you got to be on the same page as the offense, and we weren't today. And that's why we played so bad.
And, one more question, Patrick. Just this is the first time in your career where the team didn't enter the end zone on offense. Just when you look back on this, just how shocking is it to know that you guys played as poorly as you did, particularly in the red zone?
Yeah, I mean, we just didn't execute, especially on third down and in the red zone. Those are the two most important parts of the field. They were just better than us today. I mean, I don't know what else to say. They executed at a higher level defensively. They had a good game plan, and we weren't able to make adjustments and find ways to get in the end zone.
All right, let's go next to Diana Rossini. Go ahead, Diana.
Patrick, I know you addressed it already, but just the awful situation that happened, just from your perspective of the team, how much of the situation that happened involving the young child in the car accident affect the team in terms of you guys heading into the weekend? Did it take the air out of it or change the vibe?
I mean, it's hard to kind of put it into words. I mean, it didn't take the air out of it. I mean, guys were still ready to go, but I mean, it's a very tragic situation, and you want to keep that in the back of your mind, and you give prayers to the families that were involved, and especially the child that was involved. So I mean, I don't want to say it affected us on the field. I mean, they beat us. There's no excuses on that. But you're praying for those families.
All right, let's go to Therese Paler. Go ahead, Therese.
Hey, Patrick. The common theme throughout your life has been, your dad, your godfather, the lessons they've taught you, right? Including how to deal with rough losses. I'm wondering, what they've shared with you in the past about how to proceed forward after a disappointment like this. And what is the primary lesson you take from tonight moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, my dad lost in the World Series in his career, and he continued to battle and continued to be who he was. And obviously, it hurts right now. I mean, it hurts a lot, but we're going to continue to get better. We have a young group of guys that have learned had a lot of success and learned from that, but we've had a few failures, and we have to learn from that, and we can't let this define us. We have to continue to get better. Going into next year, being even better and preparing ourselves to hopefully be in this game again.
All right, we have time for a couple more. Let's go to Herbie Tiopi. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Patrick, the amount of penalties in this game, how much did that affect what you guys wanted to do from a rhythm point of view? And are you surprised at how many times the Chiefs were penalized this game?
I mean, it definitely affects it. When you have penalties in football games, especially when you're struggling and you're playing a really good defense, it's hard to continue to get drives going and get in the end zone. And then, I mean, as far as defensively, when we have penalties that extend drives, I mean, that's how teams find ways to score points. And so you don't want to say it affects you, but I mean, you go out there and you play your heart out. You just want to go out there and try to find a way to win and try to stay away from those penalties.
So Patrick Mahomes having to answer questions that, well, let's be honest, he doesn't have to answer that often. First loss of his career by more than one possession. Last time he lost by more than one possession, he was at Texas Tech. He lost to Iowa State. He's 6-0 in playoff games when the other quarterback isn't Tom Brady. 0-2 against Brady. Remember that earlier one was AFC Championship game in Kansas City. Went to overtime. Brady's team won the coin toss. Mahomes never got the ball. And not only held to single digits, they didn't score a touchdown. It was 9, and that was on 3 field goals.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.